Hey everyone, it's Rod with POW Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community on the planet. Today is Wednesday. Happy hump day. It's July 10th. The month is just flying along. In this video, we're going to be discussing AYR. We're going to take a look at the chart. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on the technicals in the days, weeks, months ahead. But as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, and you should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. I'm not a financial advisor, and full disclosure, I do own AYR in my portfolio. Had a lot of requests to do an update on this, so we'll jump right to it. Make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all the good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. As always, you can also follow us over on X in case we get censored here on YouTube. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And just like clockwork, I've been saying for multiple years now that we're going to see Congress being banned from owning stocks. And over the several months now, I've been saying that more than likely rate cuts are going to be in September. And that's going to be a major top indicator along with Congress being banned from owning stocks. Just like clockwork, these crooks are so predictable. Today, July 10th, 2024, senators strike bipartisan deal for a ban on stock trading by members of Congress. Keep in mind the SEC, the head of the SEC is Gary Gensler, Goldman Gary they call him. Why do they call him that? Because he used to work for Goldman Sachs. I think for almost 2 decades, right? So the head of Wall Street Bank is running the Securities and Exchange Commission. Okay, like that's how manipulated this all is. And once they ban Congress from owning stocks, think of your Nancy Pelosi, the best stock picker in the world. Why? Because of insider information. Don't we all have insider information? Don't we all trade off of that inside information? Like if we did that, we'd be in jail for the rest of our lives, right? So it's almost laughable. It's sad, the state of affairs that the world is in. A monkey could tell you that this should not be allowed. But yeah, here we go. Nancy Pelosi's worth hundreds of millions of dollars because she's the best insider trader in the world and no one seems to care and no one goes to prison when you work in Congress. So they're going to ban and then there'll be no reason to keep the market up. We're probably going to see a 50-60% correction after that. And watch for rate cuts. Not to be doom and gloom, but I've been doing videos calling this out for multiple years now. We're going to hit a top here. We're looking at a monthly bull flag on the S&P 500 targeting 620. There's also a weekly cup and handle targeting 610. So the top is very close, but again, we got to ban them first, right? They got to look like heroes. They have to sell, and then they crash it, right? They don't ban themselves at the lows. They ban themselves at all-time highs, just like the Federal Reserve did in 2021. Jumping into AYRWF on the OTC, we have a daily bear flag. So I just did a video on Aurora, just did a video on CGC. And if you've been following the channel for a while now, what's the common theme in the MJ industry right now? MJ industry, daily bear flags and daily oversold conditions. So what are we looking at here on AYR? Air Wellness is saying that we are yet daily oversold, so we probably head there. And we have a daily bear flag target, and we haven't quite got there yet. So just like CDC hasn't hit daily oversold or the daily bear flag target yet. So in terms of our AYR bear flag, we have our high, low, it was right here, high, low, lower high, and lower low. And then you just take your measured move there from the high to the low, move it out to your 0.382 fib. And it says we're targeting about $1.56. And then you also have $1.50 psychological. We'd hit it support here at 175 and then another double bottom there at 175. So you could look to play off that 175 level, but I'd probably wait until daily oversold conditions and that target there at 156. Maybe even they drop it down into the 140s, 150 psychological, probably go stop loss hunting. So we are anticipating potentially in terms of the recent local low there and about another 11% of downside ish. If we zoom out here to the weekly time frame and see what we can see, we just had a weekly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, which is happening on a lot of names. So that's something that is a bit of a cause for concern, and we're starting to see some follow through. But I do think the downside is limited. We do have weekly support there at 165 and then 157. So like I said, a lot of support in that 150 area. If you're looking for entries, I think somewhere you can even start to scale in now. Again, not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. This isn't financial advice, but maybe buy a little bit around 180, a little around 170. A little bit around 160, however you want to stagger it. But, I think somewhere around that 150 area would be a nice bottom to be targeting. In terms of the weekly time frame, we did lose the 10-week moving average. We got above it briefly here. Then we confirmed the weekly downtrend, lower high and lower low. That was a red flag. Got above it here, failed to close above it. Another red flag. Now we're looking at another lower low potentially. We had a stochastic bear cross and a MACD bear cross. So all the signs in the world multiple weeks ago that we were probably going to see more downside from there. And then, like I said, names like in the US hadn't been daily oversold in months. Like it was October. So if we take a look at AYR, the last time it was oversold was in October. So what does that mean? Like, well, what's the relevance of that? Well, it just means that if it's been since October, we're now looking at, 172 days or 253 days 172 trading days, 253 days, and we haven't been daily oversold. Well, we're probably due for one, right? Especially after hundreds of percentages of moves in the MJ space. If we take a look at the weekly time frame here, we are seeing a bull cross of the 50 and the 100 weekly moving averages, which is decent to see. I think this is only the second time in history. But as of right now, we're losing those. We close below them, and we're acting as resistance right now. So that is not a great sign. But I would expect us, like I said, come down around that 160, 150 area, and then we should shoot up pretty quickly, as I expect rescheduling to happen at some point in the fall, likely September, October. And then I do expect Florida to pass adult use as well. The polls are showing that it's already going to pass if it were voted on today. So if that's the case, I'm as close to 100% sure as possible that it can be that it's going to get rescheduled to Schedule 3 by the fall for the elections. Has to, in my opinion. It's a political death sentence. And then I do believe Florida's going to approve adult use, and AYR has huge operations in Florida, which will be massive for the company. So that alone is going to send this thing up to around, I would say, somewhere around that $5 to $10 area. And we also have the 200 weekly there at 1067. In terms of the daily time frame, not looking hot at all. We had the 50-day above the 200-day moving average when they cross, which they're very close to doing so. That's referred to as a death cross, and usually means a lot of downside could be expected after that. So like I said, I would expect that daily bear flag target to be met. Again, technical analysis isn't a guarantee. It's not about predicting. It's about reacting and looking at the data. So if we have 8 out of 10 indicators that are bearish, well, we're going to be bearish, right? And we have a target here of around 150, and we have a death cross lining up. We just had a weekly MA 12 and 26 bear cross. We're getting below all of our weekly moving averages. We're coming in, testing them. They're confirming as resistance. That is not good. Before it was support, now it's resistance. Usually you see another flush down after that. So not looking too hot here at the moment, but on the bright side, we could be expecting a bottom sooner than later, more than likely around that 160, 150 area. So if you're looking at areas of interest for entries, etc., wondering where it's going to bottom at, I think that should be a solid area to target. And then on the monthly time frame, we did have a bit of a head and shoulders here as well that I wanted to bring up. You can see here we had our left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So we're not looking that hot right now. It's not the most clear. I wouldn't put too much weight behind it. But like I said, coming off monthly oversold, we're still in a monthly uptrend technically, but we could confirm a monthly downtrend here with a high, low, lower high, and lower low. So key support is going to be that 165. Maybe we come down, they stop loss hunt, right? We drop to 150. It's a huge bear trap. That's what I think the most likely scenario is. But if we were to see much follow through down from 165 and then close a weekly candle, the monthly candle below that here this month, we've got 20 days left. That would not be a good sign. But after that, we have monthly support at around $1.07 and $1 psychological, right? USD on the OTC. But I do expect 165 to be hit, and then maybe a slight flush below that. And then, like I said, maybe go stop loss hunting, maybe drop into the 140s as the most likely scenario. And then I think we would recover pretty dramatically from there. And then, like I said, with those huge catalysts looming just on rescheduling, and then the prospect of other companies and big Fortune 500 companies looking to get into the space after that. Kevin O'Leary has said that he's been interested in the MJ space, but can't do it. The lawyer said he was absolutely crazy for even thinking of it. It's on Schedule 1. It's worse than fentanyl. It's on there as heroin, right? You're dealing with heroin, essentially. So the Kevin O'Leary's will be coming running here and foaming at the mouth as soon as we get rescheduling to Schedule 3, and that's only going to help with uplisting and safe harbors and safe banking and things like that. So get ready. We should see a little bit more downside and then sideways action over the next month or two, and then into the fall, September, October, expect massive upside on the back of rescheduling and adult use in Florida getting approved. All right, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. We'll continue the conversation there. It's Rod with Powell Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth. Have a fantastic evening. See you on the next one.